I will also get into looks today. I'm going to get into there's a really great book, and I am kind of loath to promote anybody's book on this show but my own. But it's too good. I have to promote this. Uh, a friend of mine, Tanner Guzzi, from the 21 convention days, has a book called The Appearance of Power. And if you have not picked it up, it's a small book. I don't think it's even more than 200 pages. It's a good, easy afternoon read if you want to, but it's called The Appearance of Power. And Tanner used to be, and I don't know if he still is or not, but he did male apparel. I think he might have owned a haberdashery of some sorts, which still exists, by the way. And he wrote this book called The Appearance of Power. And it was in response to all these guys. And even today, I still hear this today, is like, a real man doesn't care what he looks like. He just goes out there and throws on jeans and a t-shirt, and he goes out there and he just gets things done, and he works. The business of America is business, that kind of shit, right? It's like, no, dude, you care about the way you look. Guys all care about the way they look to some degree, okay? Because it projects an image of your character. And in that, Wes Watson was not wrong. So I'm going to take sides here in what I thought each of them was right about and what I thought each one was wrong about. Okay. I'm going to try to be as judicious as I possibly can in my assessments here. But the first point I can give to Wes is like, yes, especially for men. I think a lot of guys think that all you got to do is wear Doc Martens, some jeans, and a t-shirt, and then that's all you really need, right? Well, that's a form of intrasexual combat, meaning that we don't actually, I mean, unless maybe you're Wes Watson, we don't actually beat the shit out of intrasexual rivals, like same-sex rivals anymore, but we find other ways to do combat. Same thing with women, by the way. I'm going to talk about men today, but women do exactly the same thing. In fact, I would say it's almost more obvious and easier to sort of identify in women than it is with men, because the things that count as, at least in my book, count as intrasexual combat, or competition, let's say, between men, we kind of take as like, yeah, duh. And, like everybody knows that, dude, duh. We take it for granted. And I don't think we ought to take it for granted. And that's why I'm bringing up Tanner's book, The Appearance of Power, because there are certain, like the way he puts it is like, there are certain events, like you wouldn't wear jeans and t-shirt, you shouldn't anyways, for whatever reason, shouldn't wear jeans and a t-shirt to a job interview, unless, of course, you are interviewing for, I don't know, some blue collar work. I don't know, whatever, but unless that's actually appropriate. Most people want to dress their best and they want to dress to impress, right? Especially if you're trying to get a job. If you are going to a funeral, you're not going to wear the same thing that you're going to wear, when you're going to the beach, right? You're not going to wear the same kind of outfit to a wedding as you would to the gym. At least I would hope not, unless you enjoy working out, doing squats in your tux. Okay. There are occasions and things that where we want to either fit in, or we're in some cases, maybe even stand out. I was in fact, where I got the signed Van Halen guitar was actually at a charity benefit over, it was Saturday evening, just last night. Sorry, no, it was Friday evening. And everybody there it was a gala, Gala, not a gay law. And it was interesting because it was kind of like, it's almost like old money, but it's very religious, right? I'm not going to get into what the event was about, but a lot of people probably who weren't used to actually dressing up and going out and doing something, right? Because it was a silent auction for a fundraiser thing. And everybody's dressed in black. Like, God, most of the guys wore black, and I knew that was going to happen. And I know how to dress in black, obviously. Death metal Rolo knows how to dress in black, right? And so I kind of anticipated that, but I was there and I'm like, I wish I would have wore something different. And the reason why is because it helps you stand out, right? Sometimes it's good to enter into action with boldness. That's from the 48 Laws of Power. Or to court attention at all cost. Also another law of power. So you do care about what you look like. I don't care what you like. I'm sure there's going to be people who are going to fight me on this. You do care about what you look like. In fact, you should care about what you look like. Now, this is not a dig on Andrew, but it is it's simply just a fact of life. We're human beings. This is what we do. If you woke up in the morning and you looked in the mirror and you said, I think I'm going to wear this shirt and this tie and these pants and this, you're subconsciously to some degree operating from pretentiousness, right? Or from preconceptions anyways, that this is what I think people are going to be wearing. Like, for instance, I'll give you, you want my routine? Here's my routine. Whenever I'm doing Access Vegas, I know 100% what Mike Sartain will be wearing at that. Well, let's say 98%, within a tolerance of 2%. I'm pretty sure Mike's going to be there in either jeans or black jeans, his standard Nikes, and he's going to have the black shirt on. Always the same thing. Okay. Unless we're going to Babes in Toyland, or we're going to, what was it, the Bunny Ball, or we're going to some other, just like some sort of charity event where he has to be an MC. In that case, I know he's going to wear either the black outfit. Sometimes he wears the white one. I probably will, of course, at the white party. And he's got this new kind of like maroon kind of wine colored jacket kind of thing, but it's still combined with the same thing. His combinations are pretty basic, right? So I know what he's going to wear. My question is, do I want to be tandem with him? Do I want us to be a unit in that, like, I want people to see us and then associate us with Access Vegas and Rolo, and it's like the Rat Pack, where we all wear a suit and tie, not really super formal, but wearing a tie kind of thing. Do I want to do that, or do I want to go full rock star? Right? And I wear a lot of hats. I can be as serious as a freaking heart attack, or I can be Rolo the rock star, right? If that's what I think is going to be appropriate, or what I'm feeling about doing at that time. And for people who say, I don't care about what I look like, real men don't care about what no, they do. They do care about what they look like. So are you done? Is this too long for you? I'm sorry to bore you, Mr. King. Bro, it's so hard to watch Rolo sometimes. This guy will have the longest monologues that we don't care about. Get to the point, man. Okay, the point is this. You care about what you look like, and you should care about what you look like. Ergo, Wes Watson is correct. There's your attention you wanted. So getting back to the point, I think that when he was attacking Andrew for his tits and not being in peak physical condition, that's a line of attack that Andrew doesn't have any really defense against. He's a brilliant mind. Don't get me wrong. He knows how to handle people. He knows his, especially from a religious perspective, which I don't think that there was really much room for him to angle into that. He did a little bit in the panel show, but I think once he's sort of out of gas, then he's kind of at the mercy of what everybody else is talking about. I mean, not that he can't hold his own, he can, but that's definitely a weakness for him. And this is one of those things I think that guys really need to. We're gonna talk about. You want to be a high value guy? I'll give you my definition of a high value guy. Here's the definition of a high value man. He's the man that other men want to be and other women want to fuck. That's pretty much the long and the short of it. And so anybody coming down here saying, well, Wes Watson is a man's man, blah, 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 blah. Like, well, yeah, from that context, sure. When people tell me, like, Rolo, what do you think an alpha? What's an alpha? That is the most loaded question that has been hashed out and debated since as far back as like at least 2002, when I was on the SoSwab forums. Like, what is an alpha? Just define an alpha. Well, sometimes, yes, you're correct. An alpha can be a douche, but he's still an alpha. Right? The prisons are filled with alpha males. They're filled with I'm not saying that that's all there is there, but like, they're filled with alpha males. You can be an alpha and be a convicted criminal. People don't really, they hate it when I sort of like split hairs like this, because they have this impression of what an alpha is, and it's usually what they are or what they think they could be. And I'm going to tell you, like, my favorite example of this is if you take, like, say, a superhero, right? You take like Iron Man and you take Captain America, because those are easy Marvel characters to think of. But you could do the same thing with Batman and Superman, right? Captain America. Sorry, I said Captain Marvel. Captain America. Captain America is a good guy. He's lawful good. If you play D&D, right? He is lawful good. And it's truth, justice, in the American way. Do the right thing. Stand up straight, young man. Morals, ethics, doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. He's the guy that's going to return the shopping cart back to the area it's supposed to go at Walmart. That guy, that's an alpha. And women love that guy at a certain time in their lives. They love that alpha. It's usually right around 30. 29 to 31, they want Captain America. But 18 to about 28, they're more interested in Iron Man. They're more interested in Tony Stark. They're more interested in the Dark Knight, Bruce Wayne. They need a brooding vigilante. They need a guy who does things his own way. Now, before you give me this bullshit and say, "Oh, well, he's a Sigma," if you call yourself a Sigma, or if your channel is named Sigma this or Sigma that, you're not a Sigma, because Sigmas don't think in that way. They would never even refer to it. It's not even an afterthought to think of themselves as Sigmas. And if you want to get into sociosexual hierarchies, I'm more than happy to prove you wrong. No, what Iron Man and Captain America both are is they are different themes of alpha. One is the happy. Let's see. I guess you would say Iron Man would be chaotic good. He's still a good guy. He still has morals. He still has that. He's conscientious enough. He's not evil, right? But he's an alpha in his own way. He does shit on his own terms. And those are basically variations on the alpha archetype. So you have the good guy alpha. That's why when you see me on here you go, autistic Spurgs. The reason why I have Superman and Batman behind me in sort of my tchotchkes in the back there on Access Vegas is exactly that. Those are two alpha archetypes. Superman is basically Captain America. Truth, justice, and the American way. Let's go to church. Okay. And then there's Batman, who is brooding and swarthy and is sexy as hell, depending on what age that woman happens to be. Now, those are both alpha archetypes. Which one is Wes? And which one is Andrew, if you're even going to call Andrew? I don't know if Andrew would even refer to himself as an alpha. You will very rarely hear me refer to myself as an alpha. I would say the thing is like, if I was to give myself, like, this is under my own sort of observation. When I was in high school, I was very much a beta. Later on in my rock star 20s, I would say I was probably more alpha than anything. Then I got with a BPD girlfriend who sort of brought me as low to the lowest point I've ever been in my life. And so at that point, you could call me like a gamma or an omega, whatever the lowest of the low is, right? Then when I came out of that, I started I learned mental point of origin and a lot of stuff that I talk about in the first book. And then I jokingly have referred to myself as a lesser alpha. Now, where does that come from? That comes from Royce. That comes from Chateau Artiste. Okay. He used to have this. Would you like me to explain this? He used to have this rating system for men, right? And it was a questionnaire. Like, if you score these points, this is where you are on like the sociosexual hierarchy, which is alpha, beta, blah, blah. And so I answered all these questions, and I got the rating I got back was lesser alpha, not like a greater alpha, it was just a lesser alpha. And I think maybe that's like the more responsible alpha. So yes, you can be. Wes's booster gold. That's freaking great. You win, sir. If I had the sound effects, I would get. If I had my freaking sound pad working, I would give it to you. Yes, he is booster gold. You are correct.